Hello! In this second video in English, we present a short extract of the hands-on Capella training where we explain how to create and modify a very important Arcadia concept, functional chains. Enjoy! Okay, so let's continue the system analysis level. We will first create data flow blank, a system data flow blank from the Activity Explorer this time. Okay, I will name it global because I want to put, in fact, all the functions in this data flow blank. I want to put inside all the leaf functions because they are the only one in Arcadia that bear data flow, input and output. Okay, so we just have to select all functions that are in the transfer dialog, and then we just have to remove the two functions that are broken down so that we keep only the leaf functions. Okay, very easy. 3 clicks. Then we get some stuff to do because we have a mess of rectangles. So there is a magic wand called Arrange Selection on top left of your screen. And that's it. You've saved 10 minutes. Okay. You just have some little layout to do so that the diagram is nicer. Let's do it quickly. Okay. With input ports on the left part, output ports on the right part. Okay, so we see that all functions are well connected, which is already a good sign. Functional data flow refers to all the dependencies that exist between functions. So a functional chain is a specific path in this global data flow. It is particularly useful for describing the expected behavior of the system in a given context, and therefore for piloting verification and validation tests. So we will create two different functional chains. On the left part, we will create an acquisition functional chain, and on the right part, we'll create a publication functional chain. Why two functional chains? Because probably these two chains have different constraints or requirements in terms of performance, of safety, and so on. So to sum up, functional chains are very useful for piloting verification and validation tests. They are often used to express non-functional constraints, non-functional requirements. They can also be very useful for incremental delivery. Capability is a higher level concept, and very often each capability is illustrated by one or several functional chains. So let's have a look at the palette on the right. You see insert functional chains, but you don't see the corresponding create command. Because a functional chain is a specific sequence of functional exchanges, you will have to select one or several functional exchanges and then activate a contextual menu. Implicitly, the source and target functions are automatically selected. So now we just have to right-click, functional chain, create a functional chain to do the job. So it creates a new model element with a little blue square which represents a functional chain. You can see it on the left in the Project Explorer. Okay, so we will rename it, for instance, acquisition. Usually I put acquisition FC, even if it is redundant, I prefer. And then you can see that the source function of the chain and the target function of the chain are highlighted. The intermediary function is not, but there is an internal arrow enabling to show the direction of the flow, in fact. Remember, a functional chain is a sequence of functions and functional exchanges. So how to modify a functional chain? Because we forgot the weather data request functional exchange. So if I want to add it to the existing functional chain without, of course, deleting it and creating again, how can I do? The only way is to create a new diagram, either from the little square or from the chain that is in the Project Explorer. So you right-click, New Functional Chain Description, and it creates a new diagram, which is not empty. It represents the current state of the chain's definition in the model. This diagram is not a blank, it's not a breakdown, it's really a specific kind of working diagram called description, and it will be always synchronized. As it is a contextual diagram, it gets the name of the functional chain automatically. So you can see the three current functions that are involved in the functional chain and the two functional exchanges. But take care, the model elements that are present in the diagram are not really functions and functional exchanges, but rather references to these elements, called functional chain involvement. To illustrate this, I will delete from model the central rectangle. You can see that it will delete only things that are inside the acquisition functional chain. Not only the green rectangle, but also the input and output. So don't worry, I will undo this after. Let's have a look to the data flow blank that we created before. You can see that the function itself is still alive, of course, but there is no link between the source and target functions. And very important, the acquisition FC is now said to be invalid automatically by the tool. If we go back to the functional chain description diagram, you can see that it is no longer a chain. I undo it, only one undo, and everything goes back to normal. Okay, I didn't want to remove this function from the chain. I wanted to add the weather data request functional exchange and its source function. Imagine I don't remember which was the source function. So I don't want to use the function or exchange buttons. I just remember that there was some additional input to the acquire weather data function. So I just click on exchange and function on it, and the tool will automatically tell me which are the possible input or output that are missing in my functional chain and that I could add. So here, only one, it's a good one, weather data request. So I just have to select it, and automatically the source function is also added to the functional chain. By the way, it is the only diagram where the lines are by default rectilinear. So let's have a look to the global data flow blank again to check that the functional chain has been modified now rightly with a new functional exchange and a new function. So we can move the ports to make it a little prettier. With the arrows of the keyboard, it works well. And the acquisition FC is valid. If I go back to the functional chain description diagram, I can close it. I could even remove it, in fact, because it would be created again on demand. So now we will create a second functional chain called publication on the right part of the diagram. I just select the three input and one output, right-click functional chain, create a functional chain, and the chain is created automatically. By default, it is red. The first one created is blue, second is red, third is orange. So let's rename this functional chain to publication FC first. And then we will think about the color. Maybe it's not a good idea to have it in red because it could induce some safety concerns. So let's change the color of the chain to light gray. So the good idea is first to fill the little square, but we will have to refresh the diagram because in fact the functional chain is represented graphically two times, once by the little square and once by the adornment on the data flow. So if we refresh the diagram, everything goes to gray. That's a trick, an important trick to know. By clicking on F8, we see the functional chains on the Project Explorer on the left, and we can see them also in the semantic browser. Hello again! I hope you have enjoyed this little video, which is really a very short but representative extract of an actual Capella training that I gave a few weeks ago. If you are interested and wish to know more about our trainings and about our next sessions, you will find all the information on our website. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to PRFC channel. Bye-bye.